Your body starts quietly deleting muscle around age 30. Research suggests 3 to 8% every decade, and after 60, that pace nearly doubles. You don't feel it happening. There's no ache, no warning sign. It shows up one day as a jar you can't open, a handrail you suddenly want, a suitcase that feels heavier than it did last year. By the end of the next few minutes, you'll know the 5 foods that hand your muscles the raw materials to rebuild and exactly why each one works. But hold on to this. The same grilled chicken breast can build real muscle in a 25-year-old and barely register in a 70-year-old. Same food, same portion, completely different result. Nothing is broken. Something very specific changes inside the muscle cell, and I'll show you what it is in the last 30 seconds. Because once you see it, all 5 of these foods make 10 times more sense. Start with what's actually happening under your skin. Muscle isn't a solid block. It's a construction site that never closes. Every single day, your body tears old protein down and builds new protein up, and whichever side wins decides whether you get stronger or quietly smaller. In your 20s, building slightly outruns breakdown. Somewhere in midlife, the scale tips the other way. Not dramatically, just a little. But a little every day for 30 years is how strength vanishes without a single bad day to blame. So the job is simple. Give the building side better ammunition. Which brings us to food number 1, and it's sitting in most fridges right now. Eggs. Protein isn't just bricks, it's also the signal that tells the crew to start laying them. And the loudest signal in the whole system is an amino acid called leucine. Think of leucine as the light switch for muscle building. Below a certain amount, the switch stays off and the protein you ate mostly gets burned for energy or shuffled elsewhere. Flip it and your muscle machinery switches on. 2 large eggs give you around 12 grams of complete protein and roughly a gram of leucine, plus choline for the nerves that actually fire your muscles. And no, the yolk isn't the villain it was made out to be for decades. For most people, dietary cholesterol has far less effect on blood cholesterol than we once assumed. But protein alone isn't the whole story, because the switch itself can get stiff with age. That's where the second food comes in. Oily fish. Salmon, sardines, mackerel. The omega-3 fats in them get physically built into the membranes of your muscle cells, and studies have found that people with more omega-3 in those membranes respond more strongly to the same dose of protein. It's less like adding bricks and more like oiling the hinge on that light switch. Add the vitamin D that oily fish carries. Vitamin D receptors sit directly on muscle tissue, and low levels are consistently linked with weaker legs and worse balance in older adults, and one fillet is doing 2 jobs at once. Here's where the timing flips, because your muscles don't only rebuild at dinner. Greek yogurt. Most of its protein is casein, which curdles in your stomach and releases amino acids slowly over hours instead of all at once. That matters because the longest stretch you ever go without raw materials is overnight, 7, 8, 9 hours of breakdown with nothing coming in. A bowl in the evening is a slow drip through that window. You also get calcium, which your muscles literally need to contract, and live cultures that support the gut lining doing the absorbing. Around 15 to 20 grams of protein per cup, and it costs almost nothing. Now the one almost everybody underestimates. Lentils, beans, and chickpeas. Gram for gram, they carry less leucine than eggs or fish, which is exactly why they get dismissed, and that's a mistake. A cup of cooked lentils brings around 18 grams of protein, along with 15 grams of fiber, iron for oxygen delivery, and potassium your muscle fibers use to fire cleanly. The fiber feeds gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, and research increasingly suggests the state of your gut influences how well you extract and use everything else on this list. Eat them alongside grains, seeds, or a little dairy, and the amino acid profile fills in beautifully. And then there's the food that isn't about building muscle at all. It's about whether the muscle you already have can actually perform.
Leafy greens, spinach, arugula, chard. They're loaded with dietary nitrate, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens your blood vessels. Wider vessels mean more oxygen and more amino acids reaching hungry tissue. Some studies have found that nitrate-rich foods improve how efficiently muscles use oxygen, meaning the same effort costs you less. Greens also deliver magnesium, which every muscle contraction depends on, and vitamin K for the bones those muscles pull against. Strength you can't deliver to the ground isn't strength. So that's 5. Now, the answer I promised you. The reason that chicken breast lands differently at 70 is a phenomenon researchers call anabolic resistance. Your muscle cells don't stop listening, they just stop listening to whispers. In your 20s, roughly 20 grams of quality protein is enough to flip the switch and start building. As you age, that same 20 grams often isn't enough. The threshold climbs, and studies suggest many older adults need somewhere closer to 30 or 40 grams in a single sitting to trigger the same response. Which means the most common pattern in the world, a bit of toast, a light lunch, and then one enormous protein dinner, misses the threshold twice and only clears it once. 3 near misses versus 3 clean hits repeated for 20 years is a genuinely different body. That's the whole secret hiding inside these 5 foods. It was never only about what you eat, it's about hitting the threshold at each meal often enough that building wins the daily argument. And one more multiplier, because it's the single biggest one. Muscles that are asked to work become dramatically more receptive to everything you just fed them. Food supplies the bricks, movement tells the site where to build. If you want to keep decoding how your body actually works, the systems nobody explains to you until something goes wrong, subscribe and you'll catch the next one. Speaking of which, watch The Truth About Protein After 50, how much your body can actually use, because there's a hard ceiling on how much protein a single meal can put to work, and almost everyone guesses it wrong in the same direction. One last thing, and it matters. Everything here is educational content about human physiology. It isn't medical advice, and it isn't a diagnosis or a treatment plan for anyone. Your age, your medications, and your kidney and heart health all change what's right for you. So, before you change your diet or your health routine, talk it through with a doctor or a qualified professional who knows your history.